Hey guys, this is Antom. I just wanted to do a quick little end of year review thing for HFC. It's not going to be anything too formal. I've got like a list of points in front of me. I'm just going to go down them and like hit them off one by one. So I guess we could start with just how things have gone this year. Um, Overall, I think the second half of 2014 was better for us than the first half. First half was very scattershot with uploads and the like. We just basically tried to upload whenever we could, reduce the stress levels of having a consistent schedule and whatnot. But the second half, things basically kicked back into gear, and we've very rarely had a day when a video hasn't gone up, at least in terms of weekdays. So I think going into 2015, you're gonna see a more consistent HellfireComms than you probably ever have. And I'm talking about even back in the good old days of like 2008, 2009, etc. So overall, things have become much better as the year went on. It was still very up and down, as we'll get to shortly, but overall, I've been much happier with how things have gone. My personal life has got better, completely secure financially. I don't have to worry about anything regarding that, and I just want to thank you all again for, those of you who supported me the past few years on a personal level. You guys really did mean the world to me during that point, and still do, obviously. I don't want to sound all ungrateful for you guys checking out the horrible, horrible videos that I put out. Horrible in quotation marks, meaning only when I'm in them. Everyone else is perfect. But, I'm rambling now, so, next point. End of retakes. We basically don't do retakes anymore. Well, actually, I tell sort of a white lie. Like, the remaining 0.5% is, like, say there's a false start, or, audio errors go awry. But otherwise, everything has been done on the first take, and that basically came about because Brain Scratch asked me to be a part of their Majora's Mask playthrough, and they asked me this like shortly after we finished recording our movies for the Disney-thon last year. I was like, shit, man, Majora's Mask? I don't know when me and Mexi are going to get to that, so sure, I might as well do it for now. Little did I know that Majora's Mask 3D would come out and totally own Ted. That was a pretty great part of that playthrough. I didn't know about that at the time. Johnny obviously added that in post and the like, but it's a lot more fun to record playthroughs nowadays without retakes, and I know this goes for the co-commentators as well, because they were trying to be as supportive as they could be, but I could tell they were starting to get a little bit annoyed, and it was honestly making me ill. You do the same thing over and over and over. It's the very definition of insanity, and I was very nearly at breaking point, so it's probably better for me health that that stuff has gone away, and it's much easier to create videos now, which is cool. A better working environment, lots more fun. And that's the awkward intro out of the way, so I will follow what the direction says on this thing and segue into the recap. What we did in 2014. Obviously there was Pokemon X, that was there at the very beginning because it was a 2013 series and finished in 2014. That was a playthrough that had a lot of retake problems, and the Xerneas episode, in particular, you know how we joke about that every so often? Yeah, we're not kidding. That took about, 2 to 3 hours, because I just could not come up with things to say. There were a lot of awkward pauses. Helldragon got super pissy, and if you've never seen Helldragon pissy, he can be quite scary. Maybe I'm just a coward, who knows. But, I think overall, that playthrough was pretty good. And obviously I'm going to speak from a biased perspective here. But apart from some audio issues, me having some really stupid graphical plugin errors, like making the footage too bright and whatnot, I think that went pretty well. I think Omega Ruby is going to be better and feel more natural overall, but for what it is, Pokemon X went pretty well for me. Oh, and audio balancing errors. I was really bad with that in certain parts of the playthrough. I was putting up on Daily Motion, I was like, damn, my eardrums have just exploded. But yeah. Pokemon X, pretty good overall. First actual playthrough, 2014, Super Mario Sunshine, which I did with Spa. Kind of a tradition for us now to do a Mario playthrough at the beginning of each year, and I'll get to that, more of which down the line. Pretty good playthrough overall. There were some stilted bits of commentary here and there, again, audio balancing issues, which was completely my fault because I did all the editing for that playthrough. Spa recorded the footage, which was a pretty damn good run, honestly. But it was fun to do. Sunshine isn't my favourite Mario game, 3D wise, but it is a fun game in its own right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that because it was fun to record when all's said and done. The Legend of Zelda, Mexi and I's second playthrough, which he likes it, but I'm honestly not a fan of. And I'm talking about the playthrough here because while Mexi was like completely on point with like trivia point after trivia point, I had never completed the game, and you could probably tell that because I sound very awkward and out of place in that run. And maybe we'll do a redux, a retake of it down the line. Kind of contradicting myself here regarding retakes, but I would like to redo that one when I've actually completed the game. But some people said they really enjoyed it, so who am I to poo-poo on your graves while you're still alive? Really weird metaphors here. Moving on. Every Rain. One of my most favourite playthroughs of 2014. I'm doing the David Cage voice again, and of course it is different, because I cannot keep things consistent. But no, that was a really fun playthrough to do. A lot less walkthrough heavy compared to Indigo Prophecy, and I'm kind of glad I completed the game before actually going into it. Or at least, well, I say completed, I watched a playthrough of it, the two best friends run of the game. Just very fun to do, just taking the piss out of the absurd situations. Digi was a laugh. You know, we used screen share for the first time over Skype, so we could basically each see what was going on, you know, at the same time, so we could do live commentary, basically. Very useful tool, very interesting, well, I say interesting in massive quotation marks story. It was more fun to riff than anything. And it was just a fun time, really, so that was definitely one of my favourites, and I'm glad to see you guys enjoyed it as well, so thank you very much for all the praise. Direct it all to Digi. I was just there being the monkey playing the game. So, next up, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Probably the longest playthrough in 2014 from HellfireComms. Started off a bit stilted. Then Mexi and I had a bit of a fallout because I'm a dum-dum and that was put on hiatus for a month or so. Then we came back, took a month off just to let things, you know, acclimatise again. And then we got back on the playthrough train. And I would say, like, roughly around Goron Mines, we just started doing everything like one take. And that's where the flow kind of developed, and we were just churning out parts left, right, and centre then. Very fun playthrough to do. Twilight Princess isn't my favourite Zelda game, but once you get past the tutorial, it becomes super enjoyable. And yeah, that was genuine apathy during the tutorial and genuine excitement afterwards. And that was actually, I would put it in like my top 10 of HFC playthroughs. Mexi brought all the trivia and information. I brought the whole monotone, nasally thing, which I'm known for. And it was just a fun time. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that, because it was definitely fun to record. Final days of Mario Kart Wii. Not much to say, other than it was a great send-off to the Wii Mario Kart and the Wii and DS Wi-Fi system in general. Brain Scratch and Spa were a part of that, so thank you guys for helping me out. THD plays Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. What else to say? It's THD, and he's playing Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. Pretty interesting, apart from when he got salty, and I had to edit out failed battles, but otherwise pretty decent. The opening days of Mario Kart 8, really fun series to do. Brain Scratch again, helping out with this one. We covered all the new cups. We had a tournament, we covered battle mode, we covered the DLC stuff, and it was just a blast, really. And that was just all done in one take as well. Pokemon Origins, kind of fun, just to riff on what is essentially a TV show again. We haven't done one of those in a long time. THD at some of his riffing best, though, I think. Not to give him too much credit. I don't want his ego to inflate too much. But, no, it was fun. First solo playthrough of 2014, from someone who was kind of new to the group anyway. Prince of Persia 2008 by ex-gamer Richie. Not strictly recorded for HellfireComms, but he let us have it anyway, and I kind of like supervised him with like editing and such, you know, cut out this, you know, shorten this, etc. I liked it. I find the game kind of boring overall. I don't think it will go down in history as one of the best HellfireComms playthroughs, but I'm very grateful for Richard taking the time out to help provide us with content. And overall, it was pretty consistent upload-wise, so don't really have much to complain about. The Sonic-a-thon. What really is there to say about this that hasn't been said already? It was a fantastic success. All I hoped for was to meet the Zeldathon total of $9,000. And not only did we meet it, we doubled it and then smashed it, making around $20,000 overall. And we played about 40 games during that. And I'm not even going to sit here and list all of them off, otherwise this will be like a half-hour video. But some of my favourites were the Shadow the Hedgehog run, which was pretty crazy. Shout-outs to Spar for playing 06, 10 hours straight, that was pretty crazy. Sonic 3 and Knuckles run was pretty good. That was by Some Call Me Johnny and the Brain Scratch crew, but again, I'm biased, I love 3 and K. My personal favourite for me would have to be Mario & Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games of DS Adventure Tours mode that I did with Ted from Brain Scratch. That was surprisingly fun, and for the whole 7 hours I wasn't really bored, apart from when I had to redo certain mini-games, like curling and the like, but who really likes curling anyway? But the whole thing was amazing, and we'll get to marathons and the like a little bit down the line. Let's move on. Luigi's Mansion 2, Richie and I's first proper HellfireComms playthrough. I think the mission structure kind of let it down a bit. Like, our commentary was a little bit stilted, like, here is the mission, we are talking about the mission, things are happening in the mission, and if it was, like, say, a proper, really story-driven game, with maybe an open world, it would allow the commentary to flow a bit better. But overall, I really enjoyed this, and this is where I was kind of starting to get into the flow of editing audio correctly, because I'm very paranoid when it comes to audio levels and the like. But it was really fun overall, and ended on a really sweet note, so thank you, Richie, for helping me out with that. It was great to commentate with you, and I look forward to what we're doing next year, more of which later. And that line is going to be so played out, if not already, so moving on. Final Fantasy, Mexi's first solo playthrough. Pretty goddamn good so far. It's been on hiatus because he was helping with Donkey Kong Country. It's coming back in the new year. You guys are enjoying that, and I'm really glad. Thank you for sticking with us and supporting that particular endeavour. Sonic Boom, The Rise of Lyric. Why would I choose to play this for my birthday? Well, 2 reasons. 1, I love playing shitty games. I am a fan of Sonic after all. 2, you guys really wanted to see it. Apart from all the screen tearing, etc., which is just a failure of the game designer, and I guess just OBS conflicting with the hoppage, it was a really fun thing to do. And apart from just being generally bored throughout certain points of the game, it was fun to tear it apart. So thank you guys for supporting us with that and checking it out. I'm saying support like you're required to sit there and watch everything we do. I do apologise. I don't mean to be patronising, but anyway, moving on. The rush job that was the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U single-player showcase thing. Not much else to say here, except me and Helldragon kind of had a fun time talking over Smash Bros. THD plays JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, The Seventh Stand. He picked a marginally better game to play on his birthday, and that's also a playthrough that will be continuing into the new year and beyond, because apparently it's pretty long. I wouldn't know, never played it. And the final thing we did in 2014, besides this video obviously, was the Donkey Kong Country playthrough. Mexi recorded the footage for this, I did all the editing. Mexi did a fantastic job. Like, you know how much of a stickler I am for good runs and the like. He just exceeded every expectation I had, and it was just a really fun playthrough to record, especially so close to like Christmas and the like. It was just a fun time, really, and I hope we can get to Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 in 2015 sometime. That'd be pretty great. That's what we did in 2014. Next up, I kind of have to talk about something and get a little bit serious, because there is a bit of a cast change, a HellfireComms cast change for 2015. And some of it will affect what you see, some of it won't, but I should probably start with the negative point of it, and that is, Digi, Spar, etc. are no longer part of HellfireComms. And the reason for that is, we had a falling out, re the Sonic-a-thon, like how inattentive and controlling I was during certain points of that. Not all of it, just certain points. Who we were raising money for, etc. Some people disagreed with the decision to raise money for Child's Play. They didn't think it was a very good charity to raise money for and such. But we just basically had a big falling out. That's the be-all and end-all of it, really. Some of us are still on speaking terms, some of us are not. But they have all formed a group called Digital Paradox. Now, they do their own things like streams, playthroughs and such. And you can find the link to this channel in the video description. And I just want to take a moment to say, you guys basically kept the stream afloat, as it were. It wasn't really like a driving force of HellfireComms, but you made it like a second home for yourselves. And I'm trying to say this in the least patronising way possible. I'm not very good at giving compliments. But thank you for all the help you guys gave us during the Disney-thon, and especially during the Sonic-a-thon. You, along with Donnie, who again we'll get to in a little bit, really did help keep that thing going. And it may not have ended on the best note, but I do hope you guys do well with your own commentary group in the new year. And I hope we all do well. So thank you for everything, and I hope you do well. The other cast change is we're kind of, since there's not as many people here now, we've kind of condensed down into like a group of 4. There's me, there's Helldragon, there's Mexi, and there's Richie. And that's going to be the main driving force of HellfireComms. Now, we're not going to be in like the same playthroughs together like Brain Scratch, because while I do take after Brain Scratch a lot now, and ain't that some shit? Like we were first, and then, but yeah, I just kind of want to have a set group of 4 commentators, and then like people on the stream like Volkamar or Snake or Donnie or maybe even Kato can do their own thing on there. But overall, a lot of changes. Some of them not so good. Some of them will help move us along at a speedy pace. But I'm rambling now. But that is the whole cast change dealio. Now let's talk about what's coming in 2015. Obviously you guys know about Super Mario Galaxy, which is the first playthrough, going live tomorrow at the time of this recording. That's me and Ryan, Johnny and Lewis from Brain Scratch, and if you're wondering where Ted is, he slept through the first recording, and he wasn't there for the second. I don't think he's going to be in that playthrough, but he's more than welcome to join in, like hop in at any time, and more than welcome to be in future playthroughs with us. The second one is Pokemon Omega Ruby, and that's going to be with Helldragon. And that's going pretty well so far. Nice and casual, nice and chill. The weird thing about these 2 playthroughs is Super Mario Galaxy was one of the first solo playthroughs I did. I think on my solo channel, like Entom64, before it got the ban hammer dropped on it. Not quite the first game Helldragon and I covered. That would be Pokemon Emerald. But with these 2 games, it kind of represents like a soft reset for HellfireComms. Like, we're not going to start everything over. I'm not going to delete the old playthroughs, God no, those are excellent, you know, the Sonics and the Kingdom Hearts and such. But with this kind of semi-consistent schedule, I want to give you guys what you subscribed for in the first place, which is like consistent content, for lack of a better word. And I've been unable to deliver that before now, but at the time of this recording, everything in January is recorded. Like, there's playthrough parts for every weekday of the month. And this is not including like stream playthroughs, the JoJo playthrough, any solo playthroughs that come up like Final Fantasy or whatever Richie's got planned, etc. So I think at this point HellfireComms has been more productive than ever. And I do mean ever. And it's our 7-year anniversary in March, so that should tell you something. And I'm really, really happy with this, to be honest, because my own problems have been sorted out, and just to be able to do playthroughs without worrying about retakes and just having a fun time, it's made me happier than I have been in a long time. And I can say that without any hint of cynicism and the like. It's just been a great time to be a part of this group and work with such wonderful people. And I'm getting a bit sentimental now, so I should probably move on. Mini playthroughs with the Helldragon. Some of you may have spotted a playlist for Space Quest in the playlist section. And basically what's going to happen is, we don't want to get burned out on Omega Ruby, because that's obviously going to be a long playthrough. So like every 2 free badges and such, we're going to take a week's break or so, because that's all the length of time we'll need for these mini playthroughs, and do stuff like Space Quest. And they're like, I have an idea for one I want to record, but I don't want to give the game away just yet, so you'll have to wait for that. The Return of Zelda playthroughs, the next one I'm doing with MBM, and we announced this at the end of Donkey Kong Country, is Link's Awakening DX, and then after that will most likely be Wind Waker HD. So, looking forward to those 2, especially Link's Awakening DX, my favourite 2D Zelda game. I am doing stuff with Richie sometime in the new year. No hints right now, except you should expect something very English. I'll leave you to extrapolate as to what I could be talking about in regards to that little tidbit. Obviously, continuation of stuff like Final Fantasy and JoJo, new solo playthrough from Richie, which he is working on right now. I'll leave him to announce that. And wow, I've been going for over 20 minutes right now, if I don't edit anything down. So I should probably Get on with it. Possibility of a new charity marathon. We're going to announce this later in the year. We're discussing it in January. Possibility of a new movie com marathon in the vein of the Disney-thon. Super early. May change at a moment's notice. Haven't even discussed this properly with the guys yet. But it will either be Disney-thon 2 or a DreamWorks-a-thon, or something that the others will shout me down on, and they'll just make their own fancy movie commentary thing, marathon, with blackjack and hookers, actually screw the whole thing. Dream playthroughs I've got written here in quotation marks. Stuff that's a personal desire for me to do. Not just, I want to cover this, I want to cover this. No, I really, really want to cover this. Like a live playthrough of Shadow of the Colossus. In the same vein as Heavy Rain. Not so much live stream, but, we play it live like the Super Best Friends do and such. And also Harry Potter and the Philosopher's / Sorcerer's Stone for PS1. I have been trying to get a playthrough of that going for years, and it's never taken, so hopefully it will in 2015. Smash Saturdays are coming back, Mario Kart Mondays is starting properly. I took some time off of Smash Saturdays, because I wanted to get things ready for January, and that's done now, so we can get back to that properly. Whether we will live stream it, or again, do it live and just dictate to people through the live stream chat so we can get people in and out. I don't know yet, but we'll just play it by ear for now. And oh boy, my voice is starting to go, so I should probably wrap things up there. I just want to give a special thanks to everyone at HellfireComms, the co-commentators, the mods, the artists, and especially the fans. You guys have been so supportive of us this year, especially during stuff like the Sonic-a-thon. And I say this every year, but it's especially true here. You guys are wonderful. You guys are a wonderful audience to create videos for, because while you will say when you like stuff, you'll also say when you don't like stuff, and that's the best kind of environment to work in, because when you're surrounded by sycophants, you can't improve. You just can't improve at all. And when we get a fact wrong, you'll tell us. If something's wrong in terms of video quality, you'll tell us. And that's the best thing for a content creator, to be constantly analysed and whatnot. And at the same time, I'm friends with a lot of you guys. It's not just kind of like a content creator and audience kind of interaction. I've become close friends with people, for lack of a better term. And that's fantastic. It's doing something I love, and, forging new relationships through that. It's one of the best kind of experiences you can have doing stuff online. Brain Scratch Comms, obviously, goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Invaluable in terms of help during the Sonic-a-thon. Really couldn't have done it without them. And I guess I can throw Donnie in here as well, because he's technically part of Brain Scratch Comms, as well as FTCR and Sonic Paradox. He gets around a lot, does that Donnie, but Donnie was the fucking man. If there was an MVP award for people who worked hard this year, it would go to him, because he was there for co-commentary when we needed him. If he needed to cover a game, he'd leap on it, without a second's hesitation. And he's just fantastic. So shout outs to Brain Scratch, and shout outs especially to Donnie. FTCR, Gareth, Stephen, technically MBM, I guess. Throw Kyoko in there as well, I suppose. And Chris as well. You guys, it was fun to work with you again. I never thought it would happen again. It was just a very nice surprise. And from what I hear, you guys got pretty rowdy during Sonic Battle. And no, Captain No Fun has no problem with this. As long as it's for the kids and you raise some money, it's all good. So, sorry, voice is going at this point. Thank you guys so much for helping out. And I hope we can do something nice and casual in 2015. Be it a playthrough, or just hanging out again. And getting to reforge a friendship and such. Digital Paradox, again, didn't end on the best of terms, split from HFC, etc. But I'm over that angry point now. I can say that with sincerity, and I wish you guys all the best in the new year, and I hope people enjoy what you put out as well. I guess last people to thank, all the sites like Sonic Retro and Stadium, and the people at Games Explain, etc., or Game Explain, I should say, for supporting the Sonic-a-thon, as well as everyone who donated. It was a fantastic success, and I'm super hyped for our next charity marathon. And my voice is really going at this point. Oh, shout outs to Kato, shout outs to Bowser, artists and the like, and just everyone who made HellfireComms better, who wasn't me. Because besides the editing and whatnot, I don't really do that much. If I'm the body, those guys are the heart and soul. You know what I'm saying? And my voice really is going now, so I guess I've got something here that says general shite like follow us on Facebook, Twitter, etc. The links are in the video description, along with everything else I've talked about in this video. Check it out if you want. You're not obligated to. And lastly, it's been a very up and down kind of year. A lot of good was accomplished, and a lot was set in motion that will really help us to create playthroughs more easily and have a lot more fun while doing it. So, in short, fuck retakes. Thank you all for supporting HellfireComms this year. You've been fantastic. Hopefully we've been fantastic. And we'll see you all in 2015. Enjoy the new playthroughs, guys. It's been a blast. Bye bye.